Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's see. Today is January 4th, 2026. It's a Sunday. It's pizza night. I recently got into, well, let's say 6 months ago, making pizzas here at home. I got this Next Grill Aura 16, so 16-inch pizza oven on a pretty good deal at Costco. Um, it's not quite as nice if you're familiar with Uni or Gosney, but it's been working out pretty good. And if any of you have recently picked up pizza ovens and maybe not had as much luck with them, I thought I'd share some of the things that I learned along the way, some of my tips and tricks uh, that just made pizza really good. You get restaurant quality pizza at home, and you want to get this thing hot. I seen a video where somebody was reviewing this exact pizza oven, and they made their pizza, but made the comment that their dough wasn't all the way cooked through. You got to preheat this thing for, I'd say, 30 minutes. And I'm going to do that really quick here. I'm just going to turn on my propane. And lighting procedure is pretty easy with this thing. It's literally just a knob. Push it over till you hear it click. There we go. I heard the flames kick on that time. I don't know if you guys did too when I put the mic by it, but we're holding it for about another 10 seconds. This does have a rotating stone inside there, but while it's preheating, I don't want to mess with that stone. I want to let that stone just soak up the heat from the flames. All right, pizza dough. I would say find yourself a decent dough recipe. At some point, maybe I'll get around to putting mine in the description. But make your dough. I would not recommend using like a pre-made unless you go with like a quality pre-made dough, like ordered from Uni as a pizza oven manufacturer. All right, so we've had our oven preheating for a solid 30-35 minutes on high. I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy down to low to actually cook the pizza so we don't burn it. And then, like I said, we've got a rotating turntable in there. I'm going to bring the hottest side, which would be in the back where the flame was, around to the front. And the Next Grill, I would say, is not the smoothest rotation around. It's working pretty decent right now, but go ahead and get our pizza loaded in there. I got this smaller spatula to try to guide it into place. Push it back just a hair. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and turn on our rotation and let our pizza cook that way. Like I say, with your Unis or higher end ones, you probably don't have that wheel in there, so you probably got a special turning peel to turn your pizza. But this works pretty good. So we're going to let this cook. It's probably going to take, I don't know, less than 10 minutes to cook this pizza. Again, it's 40 degrees outside, but we're going to let it roll. Okay. All right, got a flashlight out here. Try to give some light in there to see how our pizza's doing. We've got some pretty big bubbles, so just you can pop some of them with a fork. We've probably been cooking for about 3-4 minutes. We got a couple of big guys coming up here. That's half the fun, is standing here poking these things. But again, that's a sign of a good pizza dough. And basically what we're doing now is letting that pizza dough set up. And then we're gonna pull the screen out, take the pizza off the screen, put it on the peel, pop it back in there, and let it finish cooking. I think we're at a good point. We'll try to go ahead and pop this off the screen. So we're gonna stop our rotation. I'm gonna put my flashlight away, grab the peel, get it under that screen, slide her out, bring her over to my little stand here. Now that screen is going to be screaming hot. Again, our spatula here. Just go under there to make sure to break it loose from the screen. And I can feel it is sticking a little bit. Work it off there. Put those guys there. And we're going to finish off the bottom of that crust in here. Right on that stone. And you can see how nice that slides off the peel there once we let that dough set up on the pizza screen. Alright, now that we're back inside, we're going to unload this guy right onto a cooling rack. And what we're doing is we're getting some airflow under there so that the bottom of our crust doesn't get all soggy, throwing it directly onto a pizza pan, where again you won't get that airflow going underneath there. So we'll let it cool for a few minutes and then we'll slice it up and get it served. Alright, we've been cooling for about 5 minutes. I think we're ready to go ahead and move it to a pan so that we can cut it. And it should just slide on there pretty easy, just like that, because you're all cooked up. I like this. You can use a wheel or whatever to cut your pizza. And this dough is a pretty sturdy dough, so sometimes you have to use the scissors on it. Oh man, and that's not the most even cut, but family pizza night, it'll work. And again, if you want to keep it as crisp as possible, or keep it from getting, I don't know, as soggy, prevent it from being as soggy as possible, I would throw it back on the grates, the cooling grates, and let people help themselves from there. Alright, we're going to try to be a little more brave with this one. I'm going to try to launch it from the peel, which I haven't even done yet with this oven. Well, I did once, and it didn't work out too well. That's how I got the dark stains on the front of the oven. Let's throw a little semolina flour right on the top before we take this one out. Maybe it'll stick to my hand a little less. This one, and I did grease these containers beforehand too. I don't sink. Alright, so round dough, a little more semolina bread flour mixture anyways. We're going to probably try to stretch this one out to our 16 inches and get it on our peel with plenty of semolina bread flour mixture on our peel. And like with the last one, I did try to press out that crust as small as possible, but this dough really rises and you end up with a pretty decent crust anyway, so take that for what it's worth. That's just this specific dough recipe. Back to our steering wheel method. Turn and hang, turn and hang. It's really about one full rotation stretches out this dough. Okay. So this time, like I said, we're going to try to launch this directly from our peel, but I'm still going to use the screen to try to measure my approximate 16 inches, which is about there. So I think by the time I stretch it just a little bit more, we are going to be at 16 inches. I'm going to have to move some things around on my table here. Get a good purchase for this peel. Move this chair out of the way. And I'm going to go generous with my semolina and flour mixture. And the semolina actually acts like little ball bearings, which helps quite a bit. Let's see here. I think this was the thickest portion yet. So we're going to pick it up right there. Try not to get her too big. And just stretch it right back out into a circle. The only other benefit you have with that screen is when you're stretching out your dough on the screen, kind of grabs and holds it at that 16-inch perfect circle. All right, now I'm going to give that a little pre-shake test, and I can see already that I'm sticking just a little bit right there. Go a little bit on the pizza, a little more on the peel. And I think I was sticking a little bit on this side too. Shake test is critical. There we go, I like that. Let's get her sauced and topped and in the oven. Let's see, this one I'm going to go down. We're going sausage and pepperoni on this one, so we're going to go down with some of our sweet Italian sausage. And then we'll put the cheese over that. And I'm totally a meat lovers guy, so I'll put a generous amount on here. Again, the mission critical thing is, as long as we can still accomplish that shimmy on the peel after we've got it all topped up, then we're in good shape. And just by my own sight, I think we're a little bit under our 16 inches, so I'll bring that screen over before I take it out just for a visual comparison. That cheese right up to the edge there, and get any little bit more bare spots. I probably could have put a little more cheese on that other one because we've got this one fully cheesed and a fair amount left. Okay, let's go on with pepperonis. I like a decent amount of pepperonis too. Like I say, meat lovers all the way. I'll be back with you once we get this launched in the oven. Procedurally, we're going to do the same thing. Turn it back down to low. Bring our hot side of the stone around. And it's a lot darker out here now, so it's going to be hard for you guys to see. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous here. First launch of a 16-inch. There we go, we got her. It worked out a little better than I expected. Not perfect, but we got it. And we are a little narrower building it out on the stone. So I actually might stick to using the screen, get a bigger pizza. Flashlight, just to show you how we're looking initially. Relatively well centered. And you can see some scorching. Some of that flour is going to do that. But it shouldn't affect the bottom of our pizza, really. Try to nip that bubble. And I'm just doing that so they don't get too big. See, we had some run over. That must have been the backside when I launched it. But from here, it's pretty much the same process. I'm going to let it, well, actually let it cook all the way through till I'm ready, because I don't have to transfer it at all. All right, so this is our, we launched this one directly from the peel. And like I say, we lost, what, maybe an inch all the way around. So I think personally, while I'm working with the 16-inch oven, I'm probably going to keep using the screens. But there we go. We're going to let that one cool for 5 minutes, then we'll get her sliced up, and we're going to dig in. All right, those are my tips for working with the new outdoor gas-powered pizza oven. Hope you learned something, or I hope I helped you along the way. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.